My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is January 25th, 2025. It is 9:21 a.m. This weekend and also today and this week are my most busiest. I may not have as much videos for you this coming weeks because I'm gonna be very busy in terms of court and all of that. But there are a lot of discussion that's going on Twitter, and to keep myself sane, I'm staying away from a lot of US politics because it's very depressing, because we are putting ourselves into the situation that we are in. But I will be focusing on some tweets that I came across right after Harry's case, the phone hacking. NGN had settled. And then a little bit after that, it could be the day after or so, where there was some discussion in terms of police wanting requests of transcript and things like that. So this video is going to focus on some of the tweets relating to that. And earlier this morning, I came across some tweets about Hugh Grant. And it's a squad who were talking about it. And I was like, what's going on with Hugh Grant? And then later on, I found out there were some, I guess on Twitter, he was dragging Piers Morgan. So if I have time, I will create, maybe I'll squeeze it in this video. But let's hurry up. Let's get started. I don't know how many tweets I have. I didn't count. And later today, I have to go to my mother-in-law. She made sure. She called me yesterday, not my husband, but me, and said I better come over because of Chinese New Year. So that's why I'm pretty busy today. All right, so this is the background. 4,509 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. Estimate revenue, $97.87. Analytics, come on. Okay, 2019 views in the last 48 hours. Let's go on Twitter. All right, some bird animals and stuff I was watching on Twitter. This is the first tweet. And you probably have read this already because the moment that I came across it, I put it on my community board for you guys. And then I was off to the gym. And when I came back, did what I needed to do, and then I was out. I was completely crashed. I was out. Okay, so this is the tweet. New police request transcript from Prince Harry's case against owner of the Sun. Okay, so let's read the article. I did not read it yet, even though I responded to it. Okay, so let's read. I was going based on the caption. The link will be in the description. Okay, police request transcript from Prince Harry's case against owner of the Sun. Exclusive, campaigners hope for investigation into claims of perjury and cover-ups against news group newspapers. The Met Police have requested transcript of the pre-trial hearing in Prince Harry's phone hacking case against Rupert Murdoch's newspaper Empire, The Guardian can reveal, as fresh calls were made for a new criminal investigation. The development... I need to pause this. You may not see the bottom part. There's an ad. I don't want... You know what? Let me just move it. The Met Police, okay, the development will raise the hopes among press intrusion campaigners of a potential new investigation into allegation of perjury and cover-ups made against news group newspapers, NGN, the owner of the Sun. The case between Harry and NGN was settled on Wednesday, just 14 minutes before the trial was to begin. I see. Because in past videos, okay, I said I would love to read the transcript in the courtroom what happened between, because in one video I said I wanted to hear what those three parties, okay, three parties, the third one is the judge. Okay, I would like to know what was going on, the discussion between them. So they never got to that point. They never got to that point. Very interesting. Okay, so Harry was serious. I think that's what happened. It probably went so high because Harry didn't care anymore. So they probably were holding on so tight because they were like, oh my God, there's a level of things that they don't want to come out. Who knows? Maybe the royal family is involved. Allegedly, we don't know. Okay, this is court case, not tabloid social media thing. Okay, maybe. Okay, so they want to preserve some of the names. So they held up until last minute. 14 minutes. That must be very high. And then Harry had the upper hand throughout. Okay, the case between Harry and NGN was settled on Wednesday, just 14 minutes before the trial was to begin. So there was no transcript. So the only thing that they probably said, the lawyers probably told the judge once the judge came out and said, look, we settled it, there's no need to that. And then the judge has to make a final, to close the case, I guess. Okay, with the offer by Murdoch's newspaper company of substantial damages and an apology to Harry and Tom Watson, the former deputy leader of the Labour Party, who was a co-claimant. Yeah, I think what happened is that NGN thought that they were just bluffing. So when Harry and Tom Watson, was willing to go all the way through, so they had to spit out some money, and then Harry had to make some stipulation. Okay, the admissions by NGN of incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for the Sun was the first time the company had recognized illegality beyond the now defunct News of the World. NGN continues to deny the phone hacking took place at the Sun, the company's flagship newspaper, or that its journalists there were involved in criminality. The newspaper was edited by Rebecca Brooks, who is now chief executive at NGN between 2003 and 2009. On the steps of the court on Wednesday, the claimant's barrister, David Sherborne, had further claimed that the disclosures made by NGN over the 5 years that the case had been running offered ground for a fresh police investigation into perjury and cover-ups. Lord Watson has said that he intends to submit a dossier of evidence to the Met Commissioner, Sir Mark Warley. The Guardian understands that this file is being compiled by Watson's lawyer, who intend to submit the evidence within weeks. Sources close to Harry and Watson said the evidence of criminality by executive at NGN was, quote, almost incontrovertible. The company strenuously denies this. Meanwhile, the Guardian understands that the Met has been monitoring the civil case and has made a formal application for transcripts of all the key pre-trial hearings in which the evidence was discussed. That's definitely... on anything that's already made public, this is what the police should have. But, as the case were to go on to trial, whatever evidence Harry has, Harry should keep it to himself. Let them guess. Let them figure it out themselves. Because I don't trust the police. Okay? NGN declined to comment. A Met spokesperson said, "We are aware of the outcome of the civil proceedings. It remains the case that there are no active police investigation into allegation of phone hacking or related matters. We await any correspondence from the parties involved, which we will respond to in due course." Last year, the former Prime Minister Gordon Brown added his voice to calls for a new police investigation over claims that Will Lewis, now the chief executive of the Washington Post, presided over the deliberate destruction of emails at Murdoch's UK newspaper business when he worked for the company 14 years ago. There had been disclosures in the High Court of a minute of a 2011 meeting between the police and Lewis, who was the newspaper's company's general manager at the time. Detective had been inquiring into a complaint by Brown of the mass deletion of emails belonging to senior executive at Murdoch's newspaper company when police investigations into illegality at the company were continuing. Lewis justified the deletion of some emails by accusing Brown of controlling a plot with Watson, then a Labour MP, to obtain the email of Brooks through a third party. This is a scheme that they created to pretend this is why they had to delete those emails. Okay, so all three articles that I've read sort of made the same reference. Byline, NPR, and what's this one? The Guardian. Okay, so we could check that. And these articles that I just mentioned, or these newspapers that I just mentioned, they are in one of my videos. Okay, I talk about them. If I'm reading it, I might as well share it with you. Okay, as part of the settlement on Wednesday, NGN confirmed that it now accepted that, quote, this information was false and Lord Watson was not in receipt of any such confidential information. NGN apologizes fully and unequivocally for this. Okay, so the scheme that they created, and this is where the perjury come into play. Okay, even if they don't do the phone hacking, at least the police could start with that aspect alone, the perjury. Why did he delete the thing and then create this false narrative? On Friday, the actor Hugh Grant reiterated his call for the police to act, saying, quote, what they are, NGN, terrified of is that those findings will trigger a new criminal inquiry. The other thing, with Hugh Grant, with his reason for settling, many people could say anything about that. Oh, why did you settle? This is his life. His life. And he have kids. And I came across something where he was saying one of his major regret is to have kids at a later age or something. So he has young kids he's raising, and you know, who know how life will turn out. So he doesn't have that much money to, just in case things don't go exactly how it planned. And I'm hearing there are certain ways that the UK system works. Even if you win, you're still gonna have to spend some money. So I understand his position. He did enough. He did enough for himself and for the country as well with what the paper was doing. So I sort of understand him. But if you're not him, you're not in his shoes. I mean, all the thing he went through, the paper put him through and all of that, and then that's his money. Okay, he's an actor. He's very well known. But many of the movies that he made are not his. Okay, he did a part, they pay him for it, and he move on. And if there is, you know, loyalty after that, that's a different story. But I could understand him. All right, let's continue. The Met Commissioner, speaking to LBC Radio, said the force will reflect, but that a massive series of investigation had been done. A massive. That's a very strong word to say when what come out of that massive investigation. Well, we know of one of the people went to jail. But anyway, Riley added, much of the material and the civil litigation actually came from those investigations and was requested through legal processes by the litigant. So let's see whether they produce anything. This I understand, because and some other things that I read, I don't remember where I read it, but when Harry find out that there's people in the palace who was doing things, giving to the papers, and he had speaking to some of the police and stuff like that. So I will assume this is what somewhat he's making reference to. And also remember, was that the judge had issue Harry that warning if he's gonna bring any I guess backups or evidence regarding the inquiry. it cannot be, things you're reading on social media and things like that. The government will have to give him access to those inquiries that he could use. He cannot use things from what people on social media are saying, this kind of thing. So if the government give him access to those documents, then he could use them in court. So that's probably some of those things as well, okay, with this paragraph. Okay, so let's continue. Chris Yoon, the former cabinet minister who settled a phone hacking case with NGN in 2023, that's one of the things that I came across when I found out when that was happening. I was like, what? It's like 2 years ago. So they keep going at it. But let's continue. Okay, NGN in 2023 said he had also written to the Met Police to demand a further investigation. He said they swore under oath at the Levison that there was no criminal activity at the Sun. So were they ignorant? Were they incompetent, or were they lying? Okay. A spokesperson for NGN said it must also be stressed that allegations that were being made publicly pre-trial and indeed post-settlement that News International destroyed evidence in 2010 to 2011 will have been the subject of significant challenge at trial. It must also be stressed that allegations that were being made publicly and pre-trial and indeed post-settlement that News International destroyed evidence in 2010 to 2011 will have been the subject of significant challenge at trial. One of the things that I said in my past recording, could be yesterday or something, there is absolutely no way they will delete any of this information. Maybe on the computers that the police are aware of, yes, they probably will know that. They will delete that. However, there has to be backup because the Murdoch group spent too much money on settling, preventing things from trial. So all of those information they have gathered throughout those years, there is absolutely no way they will delete it and it vanish forever. No. The computer that they have or the computer that the police are aware of, yes, those documents may be gone. However, I'm sure NGN and the Murdoch people have it somewhere, someplace else, some other computers that nobody knows. Okay, these allegations were and continue to be strongly denied. Extensive evidence will have been called in trial to rebut these allegations from senior staff from technology and legal. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back to X. All right, so this is me here. When I responded to that, I did not read the article at all. Okay, I was going based on this. Police request transcript from Prince Harry's case against owner of the Sun. Okay, that's what I was making my reference for. But that's me. One of whatever I was thinking of. I don't know how many tweets it will add up. Okay, the police should do investigation with what already public, not with Harry's notes. They could use the Levison Inquiry 1, the same exact thing the government, Prime Minister allow him to view versus what NGN admitted to, which is the statement they put out or whatever they gave Harry's lawyer. The reason I said that, there's a public statement that they made to apologize to Harry, to Watson, to Princess Diana. That's the public apology. There's probably stipulation, other details, like for instance, we don't know how much they give Harry. Okay, so there are probably other little key points that they have to make or Harry requested in order for him to settle. Okay, 2 of whatever. Okay, Harry should not give the police his notes because they will turn it as a defense for the alleged names. We don't know whose names that are on the papers or court document. At least I didn't come across. Okay, Twitter talk, people talk. There's a lot of names flying around, but it doesn't matter what other people outside of the courtroom says. It's what officially on the paper. Okay, this is why I say alleged names. We don't know. Okay, Harry saw the Levison inquiry because of former Prime Minister Sunak. The police can view the same exact document too. The police should have a fresh investigation without Harry's notes. Okay, whatever Harry has for himself, whatever he was gonna use to back his claims, this no, because Harry probably know of certain things. But then again, now that I read the article, they said that some of the pre-trial, okay, some of the things that they have, it's through police investigations. Okay, they could start with this, me pointing down here. For now, it is public record, public interest. Mr. Justice, aka Prince Harry, had been admitted to all of his claims. Okay, had them admit to all of his claims. Even if the police doesn't do an investigation, the people can file claims with what already public, and I'm sure Harry will back them. Okay, so there's this the perjury thing here. This is what's on the book. In the UK, perjury is a serious criminal offense that occurs when a person knowingly makes a false statement under oath in a court of law, with the maximum penalty being a prison sentence of up to 7 years. So they could go with that. The statement that Murdoch put, the apology, versus the inquiry. When Piers Morgan, Rebecca Brooke, and all of them, they were recorded, videotaped them. There was videos of them being questioned. Okay, so this is the part here that I'm making reference to. Okay, the perjury, and there's the apology. Okay, from 1996. Okay, you could pause and read it. Okay, and I underline some of the key things here. Surveillance 2009 to here 2011. Okay, the inquiry published the Levison report in November 2012. So they have that they could go by. Okay, that's what I was making reference to. Oops, let's get out of there. Okay, 5 people like it and 1 retweet. Are these the sample list that Harry has a court case against? I doubt they are trying to help him. That's another thing too. Okay, why? Okay, I still don't have much hope that anything will come of this, but at least they're trying to look interested. But the perjury report is a given. Okay, it is a given. It is public knowledge. They recorded them lying under oath. Well, at that time, they believed them. They sworn and they were talking, right? But now there's NGN is saying, yes, they were lying. Okay, so there's that as well. Okay, as they should, Murdoch has spent tons just to keep the truth under wraps. That will concern every law enforcement agency in any country his businesses operate in. Look what's happening in the US. Regardless, the police request the transcript doesn't mean they are going to do anything about it. There's the rolling eye. And can we please have leaked emails between Charles and Camilla, William, Kate, Andrew, Edward, and all their staff members and the Murdoch media? Okay, or I think this is the part that they want to see. Okay, with all of the notes that they're asking for, they want to see which names Harry had. Some of them already know which names because they had threatened him to not put certain names on it. But Harry's not that naive, and I think it would have been the last resort, okay, in court. Last resort in court to give as evidence. And the thing is that I don't know if they thought Harry was bluffing, but when you look at pre-trial, when Harry stood in court, I think they said for 5 hours they were questioning him, pressing him. Okay, Harry was serious about that. That should have given them a hint. So if that had gone to trial, Harry, he's a freaking soldier. He's pretty good under pressure. Awesome news. Keep putting pressure on next. Justice need to be served on a platter. 28 years since Diana was driven to her death, followed by paparazzi. All right, so there's probably more response, but that's it. Okay, love you at work, Harry, and there's more. Okay, so let me go to the next one. I don't know when I'm gonna edit this. Next tweet. I'm already 23 minutes. Let's pause that. GIF. Interesting. It's about time those bastards get held to account, which should have happened a long time ago. So this explains why Piers Morgan is clearly rattled. He should have left Harry and Meghan alone. Definitely. This is the first thing that I came across when I stumbled upon the squad. Okay. One of the things I kept on hearing them saying, leave Meghan alone. So they trigger Harry, and Harry was like, I'm not having it. All right, so let's see here. What did she retweet? There's no comment, so I'm gonna go to the retweet. I was gonna say retweet. Okay, let's pause that GIF as well. More headaches for Rupert Murdoch. The Met are asking for transcripts of the pre-trial hearing in Prince Harry's and Lord Watson's phone tapping case. Their counsel said the Murdoch Group's disclosures offer grounds for a fresh police investigation into perjury and cover-ups. All right, I need to look at the time so I could wake up my son. All right, I hope this is not a flash in the pan to create the illusion that they are trying to do something. At this point, Met is the only hope to hold these editors and journalists accountable for their illegal activities, as the government and the royal family are clearly in bed with Murdoch. Everybody sees that. But they'll find a way to say it's not. What you're seeing is not what it is. It's crazy. That was something I was thinking about. The police, I hope they stick with integrity, because the whole world is on its last string. Because if people you put in position of power are not holding those people accountable, I mean, at some point it's gonna reach them too. Because there was a time I heard, I know who it is, but I'm not gonna say it, someone in government in the UK saying that, you know, they need to create, I don't know if he said it as a joke or something, but it seems like it's repeating over in the US as well, like to have police in terms of robots. So at some point they may not need those police who's doing the dirty work for them. So I hope they pay attention. So while I'm editing this video, and I went to look to see who said it, and it was recently, like around 2024, 2025, that the person had said it. Not even 2025, I would say 2024. A British politician said it. And I went to look, say, who in the UK said they wanted robotic police. Okay, that was the research. Little did I know, since 2014, they've been saying that. 2014, there's this 2020, which is a bit more recent. Okay, 2023, even much recent. Police will take quantum leap forward. Cutting edge science and technology will transform policing, with strong neighborhood teams at the bedrock of every force in the country. UK top cops call for government to legislate police use. Okay, 2020, Britain's most senior police officer has called on the government to create a legal framework for police use of new technologies such as AI. So those police officers, human, I'm talking in terms of human, they may have white skin. The thing right now, what these, how will I say that, the invisible government, okay, they don't run for office, but they're in control of everything. They don't really need humans. They're gonna program these people, or those robotic, I'm saying people, they're gonna program those robots to create pain onto people. Just look at like RoboCops, past movies, sci-fi movies. These will tell you what these visible government want in the future. Okay, but for some reason they have issues with human beings. Right now, these invisible government, the people you don't see, they don't have a face, you don't see them, you don't know who they are, but they are controlling the government. They have issues with human being. What's working for them right now is racism. So those police officers who have the authority right now to do the right thing, I hope they do it, because eventually they will not need their help anymore. Their service will no longer be needed. You'll be sent back just like everybody else. But they will still create that division of racism, so they could still create chaos among the peasants, the lower classes, okay? But yeah, so it was even being talked about way before. What I was making reference to was like a year ago. But they were talking about it since 2014, way before that, 2017, 2023. All right, so I thought I answered that. I was going to take screenshot, but share my thought with you with that as well. Okay, they want to control people. So those police who have have been put in the position to do their job, to investigate, to prosecute, and all of that, they better do it, because eventually those, how will I say that? There's a shadow government. There's a shadow government that's going around the world. Okay, they don't care about you. Okay, they prefer staying in the shadow and control everything, but you're gonna be part of the problem as well. They're gonna wanna control you too. I explained that in one video. So that's an ad. Let me pause this. And Britain with the British crown, LOL, never going to happen. Okay, a good day will be when Murdoch Group's executives are in the dark, facing during bird time. Throw them all in jail. If they dug into all Tom Watson's cover-ups, it takes a year or so. Good. Hope the bastard get what they should have gotten a long time ago. In the old days, they will close the publisher down and then change the name, open someplace else. Or could be in the same building, just different names, same people. Cover-ups, yeah, Labour know a thing or two about those, don't they? I mean, they keep on pointing at Labour. I mean, if you see what just happened from the previous government in the UK, the Tories, my goodness. All right, less to do with justice and more to do with sleazy, greedy lawyers wanting to milk the Murdoch billions. I mean, if the people wants to hire them, I don't know. They're representing clients. All right, next tweet. Next tweet, quote, there's Hugh Grant. I have some sympathy when I'm in a generous mood for politicians terrified of the murder. Actor Hugh Grant, who settled a privacy case against NGN last year, reacts to the Culture Secretary's comment that the government will rule out a reopen of the Leveson inquiry. Okay, and separate videos that I had. There was something that someone mentioned about the current Prime Minister. Okay, was it Keir Starmer or something like that? And I remember before the settlement of Harry and Rupert Murdoch, NGN, there was something that was said that he will not be focusing on. No, I don't. Okay, let me gather my thought. There was something that was said. My question with that statement, where there will not be any reopen of a Leveson inquiry or whatever, but there was no date of that screenshot. It only said something like 17 hours. One of the things that I said in separate videos is that depend on when that statement was stated. Because prior to the loss, the settlement of Harry, okay, he could have said that. Now there's the settlement and then the apologies and the submission of guilt. So if he said it afterward, then that's a problem. Okay? And then I came across another article that says something about the spokesperson for the Prime Minister said something, whatever, about the Leveson inquiry too or something like that. Okay? So it's the spokesperson, and it depends on how and where and when the question was asked of the spokesperson for the Prime Minister. Okay, it could be someone, the spokesperson, coming out of court in a hurry, walking, then think this question was gonna be asked, and then say whatever she said or he said, and then they quote him, but it's not the Prime Minister himself who said it. As if, you know, that's not in their agenda. I'm just giving you a ballpark idea of the statement. It's not in their agenda right now. They did the King's speech and it was not in there or whatever. So that could have been prior to the settlement of NGN and Prince Harry when they asked them. But if it's after, then that's a different story. Okay, all these, when they ask them, it depends on time, place, and where. Because the person could be walking and that question was asked and said that, like that. Okay? But anyway, let me not mumble too much. All right, so this is 1 minute and 16 seconds. And this is Hugh Grant.
Quite clearly now, there should be Leveson 2. This is something that was repeatedly promised by the Labour Party in opposition to victims of press abuse over and over again, and now suddenly seems to have disappeared from their priority list now that they're in government.
Well, let me put to you what Lisa Nandy, the Culture Secretary, said to my colleague here on Radio 4, Sarah Montague, just yesterday.
We've ruled out Leveson 2 as a step that this government will take. We think that a lengthy inquiry that was formulated in a different era before a lot of the cases that we've seen since arise from what happens online, which is where a lot of people consume news nowadays, which wasn't the case previously. And we don't think that the Leveson 2 inquiry is fit for purpose.
What do you say to that, Mr. Grant?
I have some sympathy when I'm in a generous mood for politicians who are terrified of the Murdoch organisation and of their power to destroy their careers and affect their political ambitions and their party's fate in an election. But this is why we now need leadership from the Prime Minister. If a government is there for anything, particularly a Labour government, it is to protect the public from the abuses and criminality of big corporations.
Yeah, they're taking over. They've done their homework very well. They spent a lot of money to cushion their base. The recycle system that I talk about, where, for instance, they had the IPSO to turn a blind eye, or I don't know how it originated, why they felt like they had to have IPSO to govern themselves. And then it's their own people who's running that IPSO thing, and then to watch over their own people on the paper. So this is all bogus. So they spend a lot of money to create disconnection. Okay? So when they do their unethical things, they turn a blind eye, and then they bought every form of communication so they could poison the mind of people. So like Hugh Grant, for instance, Prince Harry and that Watson and those 1,300 people who fought back, they did their part. So what about the rest? And then I guess once they get close, let's say they do the investigation, the first thing that they're gonna throw in, guess what it is? To disperse everybody. All of a sudden, you know, the green M&Ms go with the green M&M, the yellow M&M go with the yellow M&M, you know, this kind of thing. Racism, okay? Once they throw racism into the mix, everybody forget about all of their problem. And then guess what? The people who are in power probably just high-fiving each other and say, we got them. Look at this. Look at those minions. They buy it again and again. We just throw the racism in the mix, and then they forgot the key problem. Them. Okay? The people in power who's controlling, maneuvering everything. I mean, people need to get that out of their system. Race is not the problem. There are bad people in every group, cultures, you name it. Black, white, Asian, they all there. But the way those rich and powerful have used the skin tone, it's unbelievable. That's, I mean, if I was a evil person, I would say that's I would say that's brilliant, but it's just crazy. The little people, the brainless, the idiots, the one who's scrapping for scrap, who doesn't have food, shelter, heating, and all of that, they buy it all the time. And then they remain in that same state of poverty. It's unbelievable. All right, let me read some of the comments here. The current UK Labour government has enough on its plate coping with all the bad copy of the Express, Mail and Telegraph without adding the Sun to that list. Therefore, they have to keep on the right side of News Group newspaper, NGN. It's the art of pragmatic politics. Like I said, one of the things that they need to do is just I don't want to repeat that again, but it's something I said a long time ago. But each time I get to point like this, only Harry, that's it. Okay? Look at this. I swear, only Harry is not terrified. His family and father are bloody terrified. Okay? Hugh Grant is a clown. Well, he did what he needed to do for public interest. All right? You could call him all you want, but it was, he did what he needed to do. Okay? He caught with a prostitute a few decades ago. Now wants his privacy. LOL. You couldn't make this up. Well, you could say everything that you want, but if what he said about the paper NGN was false, they will not give him money to to settle. Okay, so there's more comment. Let's move on. Okay, this is still about Hugh Grant. Okay, I need to pause. That glasses look weird on my face. I can't see properly with it. Let me pause. Okay, next tweet. That's from Variety. Hugh Grant has called for a new criminal investigation into Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers after Prince Harry's settlement. Quote, "We've been punished, we've been to prison, we've paid fine, we've lost our job," said Grant, who settled with NGN last year, but the people who commanded all this, they're still there. That's right. Okay, I'll leave the link in the description. Is that the one here? Okay, I'm not gonna read it. Okay, probably almost the same thing. It's not that long, but I'm in a hurry for different things here. Okay, let me read some of the comments. Then Hugh Grant drop out of the court case. Like I said at the beginning, I understand his situation, because you're not in his shoes, and then the way the system in the UK is sort of set up, even if you win, you're still gonna have to pay. And then from I read somewhere where he started having kids at a later age, so he has to leave something for his kids. All right, let's see here. There's two comments. Okay, no, he accepted settlement in the face of a £10 million cost, fair income, but he is very much part and parcel of the case. Were you ever in court case? There's that as well. They're always playing it down, but if it's not them. Okay, good job, you. He needs to keep his nose out of things like this. He's an act. Well, he did what he needed to do. Let's see, there's 33 comments. I didn't finish with that comment, but let's see here. The tabloid have targeted him because he is an actor. You definitely has more authority to discuss this. That's right. Nobody cares. Well, you do care, because there you are. And that's his business. They were going after him. Okay, you know Rupert Murdoch isn't going to marry you, so give it a rest. Okay, so let me leave that alone. Alright, so that's that. Let's leave it. I mean, they have no real foundation to argue with him. So they start going personally. Alright, things that happened years ago. I remember, I think it was somewhere in California. Alright, next tweet. Alright, so let's continue here. Breaking. Following Prince Harry's landmark victory over NGN, calls are getting louder for the three people most responsible for targeting Harry and his wife to face punishment. Alright, apparently Mr. Watson's marriage was casualty of their campaign, which is horrible. I guess they were hoping for the same with Harry and Meghan. I don't know much about that Watson person. If he wasn't part of the case, I will not know. Unfortunately, I don't have confidence it will move forward, but hopefully pressure will continue to be applied. Okay, pressure does need to be applied, but even when evidence is hand over to the Met Police, I have no faith that they will take action. Okay, I can imagine a time when Harry will ever had a photo like this taken with the people that made his mother's life hell. Wow, is that a picture no artist could paint? Look like they're awfully chummy there. Poor Harry, he was set up from the get-go. Glad those bastards admitted guilt. Yeah, he was set up. Like I said in one video, when Harry is doing joint interviews with his brother, one of the things the brother always say, he's gonna be smoking and drinking and do all of that.
How about you, Harry? He'd probably sit and play computer games and drink beer. And
then you have Camilla's son, who there was an article that was written about him that he'd be selling whatever, ecstasy or something like that. Just look at the screen. I'll put the screenshot of that article. And then they're picturing this type of things. This is who Harry is. And then when you look on the tabloid, they're always showing him when he's drunk is that. And I've said in past videos where, you know, when you're young, yes, you go to the bar, you have friends, you hang out, you have fun, but you have these people on your face all the time. And then they want him to react. And he react, and then they will catch those pictures, and that's what they print. Okay, so they were framing him to be this frame or cast. Yeah, they were casting him to be that type of person. And the brother, every time he get a chance to talk about him, he always say he's drinking, smoking, and then the tabloid putting things out there, and then they said that he smoked pot or whatever. Who was providing him this? Because I do not see Harry leaving the palace wall to go outside and buy those illegal drugs. Who was providing him? Based on articles that were written about Camilla's son, I'm just wondering. Put one and one together. So they were pulling him down. They literally feed him to the wolves. They literally feed him to the wolves. And he stood up for himself. Okay, usually suspects. The police must act on the dossier presented to them. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Was that an article? No, that was just a picture and the caption. Next tweet. It's a video. Let's see here. Oh, let me pause. I need to upload something. Something just I was working on just finished. Let me upload it. All right, so I'm uploading. I need to do a thumbnails. All right, so this is where we are here. NGN admits guilt and apologizes for privacy breach. Let's be clear. Prince Harry's victory goes beyond financial compensation. It's about accountability and the acknowledgement of wrongdoing. With NGN's admission under British law, the case is effectively settled. This marks a significant triumph for Prince Harry, his late mother, his wife, Lord Watson, and all those affected by Murdoch's unlawful and unethical practices. Okay, 1 minute and 14 seconds.
You can only sue in this country against something that's denied or not admitted. That's the way the law works. If someone admits something, you don't have a cause of action. So once they've admitted what he called for, then it's them settling. It's not Prince Harry. He has conceded nothing. They are paying him damages, and they're paying his legal fees. Now, I'm not at liberty to say what the total cost of that is, but I see the BBC have said that it's an 8-figure sum, upwards of 10 million. Now, it wouldn't surprise me, and I've not seen it denied, but that's not Prince Harry backing down. Mm-hmm. It's not Prince Harry who's admitted anything. It's news group newspapers, News UK, saying that the Sun engaged in criminal activity. Let's be clear about that. That's what unlawful activity means. It means blagging of medical records. It means obtaining phone bills. It means, in many cases, phone hacking, listening to voice messages. It means getting financial records. These are all gross intrusions of people's privacy, done in secret. The key thing is,
and there's a distinction, sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Harris, there's a distinction, isn't there, in the words unlawful and illegal, because illegal refers to something that is expressly...
This moment. But anyway, let's pause this. Prince Harry got the judgment he wanted for this case. Accountability, apology to him and his mother, and financial settlement to ease the pain NGN caused. It's time for Prince Harry to relax, but his legs up and enjoy himself. Spend your money on you, Prince Harry. Well deserved. There's another one I think it's coming with Wathamer. All right, so this is something else. Facts matter. Prince Harry NGN. Prince Harry won. The haters are saying Prince Harry is a money grabber and a liar. Well, guess what? They keep on writing things about him that are false, so he's gonna go after them. They could say anything that they want. Harry has proof to back up his claim, because he said he won't back down. I'm very happy, sir. You are a very intelligent person who knows the law of the land, setting the record straight for the clown. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay, New York Times. Is that an article? Okay, no, they're making reference to it. New York Times, the British public doesn't appreciate Prince Harry's huge victory over NGN. Okay, so there's me here questioning New York Times. They UK shift to the US, just saying. Right, some section of the public do, and I've seen them proudly support Harry and those calls and shows and on social media. Yeah, I've read some where I actually call it out and said, yeah, they need to speak up, because it's almost like the MAGAs. When the MAGAs speak, you think it's all Americans. Some of the things that I used to say about the UK, it's right here in the US. Oh my God, what a Uno reverse that is. All right, so let me read there. Some section of the public do, and I've seen them proudly support Harry and those calls and shows and on social media. But a chunk is so badly brainwashed that they think the worst of Harry and Meghan and never ever stop to think why they're being fed such disgusting narratives about the two. So these are the people that they still continue to feed the BS. Like, for instance, let's take example of Trump. During the campaign, did Trump talk about any substance that will help the country? He didn't even talk about the, Project 25 that much. It was later, close to the election, people were talking about it. And then he went on Madison Square Garden, where he pretty much trashed almost every group you could think of. All right, so they have their base. They know who they're catering to. All right, meanwhile, they keep on talking nonsense, but Harry called them to court and take their money. If this is the way that the Ranger is saying it. All right, but I read this, but it's my firm belief that many just don't give a shit. They don't get how big of a deal this is, and don't get how horrific of a time Harry and Meghan have had at the hands of the same press Harry has sued. And that's sad because people seem to forget the fact that ordinary people were victims too, not just celebrities and politicians. This is the thing here. They're waiting until it's them. Okay, it's not over yet for NGN. Okay, is that the same thing that I read? This is a different article. Let me see here. Let me pause and see if it's the thing that I read already. Yes, it's the same thing that I read already. Police request transcript from Prince Harry's case against owner of the Sun. I read that already. The link will be in the description. I firmly believe that Camilla was the leader, and all the mudslinging the VAT set in with her and her mates and the press. Exactly. They can continue to believe the negative narrative, all crabs in a barrel, until one moves sideways out, roll on epic crown too. All right. A member of the British public here. Only the Rangers on social media are mad. Most people are happy. Okay. As a Brit, all the people I've spoken to thinks it's a great win for Prince Harry and the public against the gutter press. Remember, victims of terrorism and crimes were having their phones hacked too. All right, so there's that. Okay, spot on. Some of the dumb gullible, they can add 1 plus H, suing the press, plus 1, the press revenge, 2 equal to vitriol attacks on Harry and Meghan. All right, so I'm glad some of the Brits are talking, because when they stay quiet, it make it seems like it's only it's all the UK. All right, so many Brits have spoken now, and then I've come across some of the video clips from, let's say, LBC O'Brien and things like that. All right, this is my last one for this. Okay, while we were busy following Harry's triumph over NGN at court, with love, Meghan quietly crept over 1.6 million followers. It's been a while. I saw it for a while, maybe a week or so. All right. Okay, it's been like that for a while. I hope she closed that one and moved to Blue Sky instead. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. All right. I just hope it doesn't go dormant like her American Riviera page. Okay, there is no copyright issue here to hold up production. American Riviera is being blacked. But it's just a matter of time before they clear the copyright issue. Okay, with the name, because one of the things that I read is that because American Riviera sort of is too broad in terms of I think it has to do with location, and like Riviera, it could be any place or something like that. I forgot how it went, but I read it in one of my tweets, video tweets. Okay, damn, I've been looking every day apart from yesterday and I missed it. Yeah, it's been there for a while. I most certainly noticed that one. There's that. The Sussex's house winning every turn. All right, so that is it. All right, let me do a quick prayer. Prayer for protection. Let's just do that. Prayer for protection. I need to see how my son is leaving. He has to go to religion class. All right, let's pick the yellow one. Prayer for absolute protection. Oh my God, this is so small. Okay, dear Almighty Father, the enemy surrounds me. Even my life is at risk, so I look to the only place in the universe where I have absolute protection, and the house of the Lord, and the fear of God. It's very small. Oh my God. And the fear of God, I find the wisdom that instructs me. Even if they destroy me, my soul is safe. I live eternally only in you. Eternal life begins today with Christ and me, fully protected by the spilling of your spirit and your blood out upon me. The enemy is crushed under your heel, and the holiest of name, the name under which all must bow down, and the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, it's very small. I'm sorry I read like a kindergarten on this one because it's very small. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Alright, so this video I just uploaded. Everything is fine, but I need to do a thumbnails. Okay, maybe I'll use this image as the thumbnails part of it. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.